So we're at LAPD, if you haven't noticed, and we're gonna watch this complete shit show. And holy shit, that's there, no more, no less. Also, just throwing this out there: the windows and the doors are open. Dogs might bark at some birds flying around and some bunnies hopping around and some squirrels running around. They are not, however, going to bark at that big ass beaver that's been running the property for 3 or 4 days, or the horse that just wandered up here from the little pasture over there the other day. They're not going to bark at the big shit, but they will bark at the little shit all day long. And again, the ice machine is making ice and dropping it. So if that offends you, you can go somewhere else. Right now, we're going to make fun of the LAPD. LAPD officers not the suspect carrying the AK-47 shot robbery victim, of course. The brief. 2 robbery victims were shot by LAPD officers who stumbled upon a struggle involving a suspect with an AK-47 and a knife. What's the odds cops are just random gonna stumble on a suspect with an AK-47 and a knife? Well, I guess the luck of the LAPD. Body-worn camera footage shows officers shooting both victims and the suspect with none of the injuries being fatal. So, probably because they run up thugging, holding it to the side and shit where they can't center in on anything. If you have to pull your firearm, you are supposed to level it. You're supposed to, the sights, center mass, stop the, they don't. And they're such shit shots, they barely even hurt anybody. But when camera footage fatal, the suspect Kevin Doby faces charges including armed robbery and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, while the victim's attorney plans a civil lawsuit against the LAPD. Against, you think LAPD gives a shit? They do not. The cops aren't paying the lawsuit. The taxpayers are paying the lawsuit, and people are going to say, "No, it's the insurance." Okay, bitch, stop. Where's the insurance get their money from? From the police departments. Where do police departments get their money from? I'm waiting. The cities, the towns, the counties, where they get their money from? I don't know. Maybe some government. It's all taxpayer money. So stop with the insurance is going to pay it. And there should be none of that. Cops should pay for insurance out of their own individual pockets, for one, and only for, I don't know, maybe a car accident that they were not the cause of, and they can buy a bond. And then when shit like this happens, anything the bond doesn't pay for but secured it, like the house, the boat, the car, the lawnmower, the Vitamix, the Ninja, the all that shit can go to settle the bond. Once they think for one, and then you got to make, when the bonds go into effect, you got to start doing that. Not saying, well, this didn't cover it, the taxpayers are still responsible. No, the bond covers everything. That's just going to be the way it's going to work. Whenever they fuck up, the bond is going to cover it. And then when the bond doesn't cover it, everything that secures the bond will be taken for the bond to cover it. And then you got to start making examples. Because when they think, if I pull this gun, I might lose my house. I might lose my car. I might lose my Vitamix. They might not do that shit. Los Angeles. 2 robbery victims end up shot, not by the AK-47 wielding suspect, they said, but by LAPD officers. Indeed, body-worn camera video from December 28, 2024 shows Southeast area officers stumbling onto 3 men struggling over a rifle and a knife on 114th Street. As the officers approach, you hear one of the men on the ground screaming, "He has a gun!" The man spoke to us on camera saying that night he was with a friend when the man with the weapon tried to rob them. His attorney, Luis Carrillo, shares video from the security camera where you can see that happening, and the 2 men quickly jump on to try and subdue the man with the gun. That's when officers stumbled onto the scene and, seemingly not knowing who is who, end up shooting both victims, causing the armed suspect and chasing the armed suspect and shooting him as well before taking him into custody. They just show up. They just indiscriminately shoot everybody, and then they figure it out later. And then they don't know how to use a fucking tourniquet. They need to take that shit away from them because before they cause somebody to have some limbs amputated. None of the injuries were fatal. Nobody's surprised by that. Said LAPD did release the body cam video saying their response is under investigation. The department made a point of also releasing video from officers who, once they realized the 2 men were victims and trying to apply a tourniquet and get an ambulance to them, to the point that the officers did not know what they were walking into. Carrillo says they are trained to do things differently. Are they? So they're trained to just random walk into shit, see some people struggling on the ground, one screams he has a gun, and they just shoot everybody. Is that the differently that they're trained? What about fucking de-escalation once in a while? Because you're going to see there is none of that. He points out that no officer ever identified themselves as law enforcement as they walked up to the struggling men. So you're struggling on the ground, he has a gun, and you walk up and you're not going to identify yourself, so that way when a gun's pointed at them, they can shoot you in the face and say, he pointed a gun at me. Why not try to defuse the situation? We call that de-escalation. That's semantics, because they don't do that shit anymore. Before starting to shoot, asked Carrillo, whose office represents the men in what is headed to a civil lawsuit. No comment from LAPD on the lawsuit, but we are including the videos released by the department. The suspect has been identified as Kevin Doby, no age given by LAPD, who did say investigators recovered a loaded AK-47, ammunition, and a folding knife. The LA County DA has filed charges against him, including armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Wow. That'll teach him. It won't. So, let's go to the video. I let it fast forward a little bit, hoping when I went back, I'm going to go back to it's just some random yapping, but maybe it won't go to ads.
Victims in South LA say they were shot by the police officers who were supposed to be helping them. Now those victims are suing the LAPD. Fox 7's Christina Gonzalez spoke to the victims at a law office in Pasadena. That's where she's live for us tonight. Christina.
Yeah, and what they're saying is that the officers should have known better. They should have been trained to know better. The officers are going to say that...
Training, more training, more... Stop the fucking bullshit. You're going to see just lack of accountability. We don't give a fuck, because you know what we wanted to do? We wanted to be in our fucking cars playing video games on our phones, but instead we were told we had to walk around once in a while, and then we stumbled onto some fucking bullshit, so we just had to shoot everybody.
Didn't know what they were walking into. Now there is video of this, and I want to give you plenty of warning. Get the kids out of the room, because it is body worn camera video. It does show the shooting, but it's the best way to realize what's going on. So with that said,
also, I can't remember if you can hear gunshots or not. If there are, I'm gonna have to edit that out. Also, when you're walking around, you're supposed to be looking. Your head, you hear him say, keep your head on a swivel, we got your six, keep your head on a swivel. Yes, you're supposed to be looking and listening and watching, and maybe not two of you walking at the same place at the same time. Split up, walk around and look. Pay attention, and then when you hear shit going down, you slow down and you look, you evaluate, you reevaluate, you walk, you look, you listen, you pay attention, and then you hear more, and you walk towards what you're hearing, and then by the time you're up on it, you kind of got a basic idea of what's going on. These are fucking idiots. They don't care.
take a look.
Yo, what the f***'s going on?
Yo, what the fuck's going on? Immediately. Yo, what the fuck's going on? There's your de-escalation, but they do things differently, they said.
LAPD officers walking up to three men in a struggle. Screaming he has a gun is this man, who does not want his face on camera.
Why do I use
Of
Opera
course.
Browser? Because it's always ahead.
Always got to be.
Faster upgrade.
Shares security video from the same night last December, just before officers showed up. It shows a man with a weapon walking up to him and a friend, he says, to rob them, shortly after midnight outside a church on 114th Street.
He pulled the rifle. That's where everything happened.
Video shows them jumping on the armed man to subdue him, according to LAPD.
Also, this footage you're watching is from a Tesla that's recording everything.
Who has released this incident video.
And this is body cam video of dumbass with one hand. That is not how they're trained. No, they do things differently. Yeah, they're the thuggin' brothers is what they are, because that is not how you do any of that. You have sights for a reason. That way you know where you're shooting and what you're shooting.
That is when officers happened onto the scene. Back to their camera.
Just, again, discriminate. And we got to be on the radio at the same time. They have a panic button they can hit that lets shit know what's going on. Know what they're doing. Thug life.
Victor and his friend
And backing up and just shooting anything. Anybody could have been walking through there. it's ridiculous, but they do things different. They do things incorrect.
Are shot. The suspect flees. Officers behind.
He's shot! He's shot! Officer needs help!
The suspect shot in the leg is captured, a rifle and knife recovered, but seemingly it takes a while for the officers to figure out that Victor and his friend were victims.
They're not even got close to us. Are you guys alright?
Once they do, LAPD explains, sharing this video, officers tried to help them, even applying a tourniquet.
They did not. They do this incorrect. They're just, and a little secret to people, there's directions to that on the fucking side of it.
Victor shows us the through-and-through bullet wound on his arm. His attorney saying,
in street terminology, they effed up. But a more sophisticated way of saying is that they didn't follow their training.
Things different. Maybe they have different training.
Firing at the victims.
They always do that. He acts like this is something new. It is not.
The victims of the robbery become the victims of the LAPD.
I wasn't not even expecting us to get shot, especially by them.
now the incident is being investigated. I should also add that the suspect in this case was arrested. He is facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon, armed robbery, and so forth. But no comment directly from LAPD at this point other than to release the video and to show people in their words that they did what they thought they needed to do.
Yeah, they did not. They did none of that correct. I want to go back to the tourniquet. I thought there was a little longer clip of that. Maybe it was another one I saw.
Explains sharing.
This should be up in the armpit. Tight. Then you cinch it down. This is
This video,
incorrect.
officers tried to help them, even applying a tourniquet. Victor shows us the through-and-through bullet wound.
There's another video that shows more of that.
His attorney
Anyway, this is a complete shit show, and everybody knows it's a shit show. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. All you gotta do is click the button. You're at your computer. You got your phone in your hand. Click the button, and we're done. And I'm out. Okay, we're going to show you everything about this that is going to be incorrect. We're looking for the part where he's going to put the tourniquet on. No, first we're going to back up and we're going to shoot her fucking body. That's what we're going to do. Let's get to the tourniquet. This is all their training. Are you ready for this shit? This tourniquet should be up in the armpit is where it should be. I tried to find a video. This is the best I could do. Watch this complete shit show. This, wish we could stop it. This is not how you apply a tourniquet. Watch where they place it on the arm. Incorrect, and then we're not even going to follow the instructions that are right on it. We're just going to twist and tie and try to make a fucking bow or something. I don't know. See this? Nothing about this is right. Oh, what's this little thing for? Well, it's to put it through the loop, and then you cinch it down, and then you twist it and twist it and twist it. Dumbass. They under the impression they're supposed to use the hook. I know they do things different. They do shit incorrect. It's a wonder he did not lose that arm. Also, I didn't hear anybody note when the tourniquet went on. See this? We're just pointing now. Let's just point and try and figure some shit out how it goes. They are incorrect. Let's just try and tile this shit up. Let's twist it this way. It might work. I don't know. It will not. And also, since you don't have it on there right, that's not going to stay. You're going to have to figure out how to wrap the other part around it. And then, what the hell are you planning on doing with that? That is not going to stay. This is absolutely not tourniquet application training. They need more training. Please stop. Quit giving them fucking shit that they don't bother to pay attention on how to use. They have to be trained on this. They can't just give it to them and then they just let them loose with it. This, applied incorrectly, depending on where you apply it, can kill someone. Anyway, again, let me know what you think about this complete shit show in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You're sitting right there. You got your phone in your hand. You got your laptop. Hit the button, and I'm out.